Welcome to Life Action Results. In today's video, we're going to dive into weight loss trends to avoid if you're on a weight loss journey. So maybe you're starting out on a weight loss journey and you want to know some of the trends to be cautious of. Or maybe you're doing one of these trends and you want to know some of the concerns that come with the specific trend that you're doing right now. Or maybe you just want to be healthier and know what is out there. What are the trends online for weight loss to know how you could potentially fit it into your lifestyle or tweak it to make it better for you? If any of those sounds like you, then stay tuned because I'm going to be diving into what are these weight loss trends, what concerns or red flags you should watch out for, and give you ideas for what you could do instead. And anytime throughout the video, if I mention any tools or resources, I'll make sure to link those below in the description so that you can check out later. So diving right in to part 1 of a part 2 series of weight loss trends to avoid with our first trend, GLP-1 medications. So what are GLP-1 medications? Well, GLP-1 medications are a class of medications used to treat type 2 diabetes and obesity. So essentially how it works is it works to mimic the natural hormone, GLP-1, which helps to regulate blood sugar levels. And in that process, it stimulates the pancreas to produce more insulin. And along with that, can work to slow down digestion and reduce appetite. So some of the key benefits of GLP-1 medications is improving blood sugar control, promoting weight loss, and then reducing the risk of cardiovascular events because your blood sugar control is better and your insulin levels are regulated. So that's how GLP-1 medications work. So when you think of GLP-1, think of type 2 diabetes, obesity, really working to help regulate blood sugar levels. And maybe you haven't heard of GLP-1 medications specifically, but you've probably heard of different brands of GLP-1 medications, like Ozempic or Wegovy. These are super popular right now, and on my timeline for sure, I see tons of celebrity before and after photos, or tons of at-home delivery products for this kind of medications now. And so they're really marketed as being quick weight loss solutions, even to people who might not medically need them. Maybe you're somebody who's not really super obese, but it's still going to be marketed to you as a weight loss drug. So when it comes to GLP-1 medications, you really need to recognize that although it's marketed as a quick fix to weight loss, it's not a cure for diabetes, it's not a cure for obesity, and using these types of GLP-1 medication drugs should be used in conjunction with a healthy diet, exercise, and other lifestyle modifications to make sure that you're making the most, beneficial choices for your life and for your health. So it's definitely not a quick fix. Definitely takes time and other behavioral lifestyle changes to really have long-term impact when you're on these medications. But before you dive into the Ozempic trend or the GLP-1 medications trend, there are some concerns that you should be aware of before deciding if this is something that you should bring into your lifestyle. So some of the concerns are they don't address the root cause of unhealthy habits. Often Ozempic is promoted as being a quick weight loss fix. You're going to take Ozempic, it's going to make you feel less hungry, so you're going to lose weight. But it doesn't address the root cause, how much food you're eating, what type of food you're eating, your movement in a day, and what that looks like. So it is a quick fix, but long term, it doesn't promote that sustainable weight loss behavior. And that's why we're seeing when people go off of Ozempic, they often gain the weight back because that root cause of why they were gaining weight or why they were unable to lose weight has not been addressed in many cases. So that's something to be aware of, that when you're taking a weight loss drug like a GLP-1 medication, like Ozempic, you really need to assess your lifestyle and make healthier choices along with that. Also, there's rapid weight loss involved with, GLP-1 medications. You lose weight quickly. And so a lot of times, not only are you losing fat, but you're losing muscle loss as well. And so if you're wanting to be more toned, you really have to think about your exercise, how you're gaining and maintaining your muscle so that you don't lose your muscle, which is really important for your overall health and even balance. And also, these medications can have side effects like vomiting, nausea, lead to nutrient deficiencies, and gastrointestinal issues. So those are some of the concerns to think about when it comes to GLP-1 medications. So what can you do instead of taking a GLP-1 medication? You can focus on healthy habits that are going to be sustainable for you long term. So focusing on regular physical activity, really watching your meals, focusing on balanced meals, and stress management. And if you want support in this, check out my other videos on how I lost 25 pounds and the tips that helped me. And of course, if you're considering taking a GLP-1 medication, make sure to consult a healthcare professional for really personalized guidance, because your health, your lifestyle, it's really tailored to you. So you want to make sure you're doing the best thing for your overall health. The second weight loss trend we'll be diving into today is Whole30. So what is Whole30? Whole30 is a diet that tells you to eliminate something and do that consistently for 30 days. So for example, you might eliminate sugar or dairy or no sweets or no carbs or no alcohol, and then do that consistently for 30 days. In this diet, they promote it as trying to be a healthy reset. And I think for some people, it actually can work. When you're giving up sugar for 30 days, maybe after the 30 days, you'll crave sugar a little less. But for this type of diet, it is a form of a restrictive diet. And a lot of times, restrictive diets can be disguised as wellness and being super good for you. But like all diets, you have to be aware of the potential problems. And so what are some of the problems that Whole30 and other restrictive diets have? Well, the problem with cutting out an entire group of food without a medical reason to do so can create unnecessary stress on your body. And there's always that chance that when you're taking out foods, depending on what you're choosing to eliminate from your diet, it could lead to unhealthy consequences of not getting enough nutrients for your body. And so when you're missing out on key nutrients, it can, put unnecessary stress in your body because your body's trying to work at the level it's supposed to, but it's not getting the proper nutrients. And stress, can increase your cortisol levels. And when your cortisol levels are increased, it can actually work to lead to weight gain, and especially around your midsection belly area. So we really need to be aware of the types of foods that we're taking out and making sure we're not taking out any foods that are necessary for our nutrition, for our health. And I also think a problem with these types of diets is it can lead to an unhealthy relationship with food. If you take out carbs for 30 days and in your mind you're thinking, I can't do this for 30 days. Carbs are bad. I shouldn't eat carbs. It's terrible for me. I should never eat carbs. All carbs are bad. Then it's really reinforcing this mindset of never eating carbs ever. And, that could go with both good carbs and bad carbs. So, for example, a bad carb might be an overly processed bag of chips. And a good carb, is a potato. Some things that are healthy, that are natural, that are whole foods. But in the mind, you start associating all carbs as being the same and all being bad for you, leading to an unhealthy relationship with food for certain food groups in your mind. And so I think that is definitely a problem with restrictive diets, similar to Whole30, but Whole30 can be beneficial. It really depends on what you're taking out, what you're prioritizing to remove from your diet, because with all things, we need to make sure that there's a balance, and that when we're taking out specifically an entire food group, we're making sure that we're doing it for the right reasons and for the better health of our bodies, and not doing it because it's a trend and everyone else is taking out, dairy from their diet. Let me take dairy out of my diet, or let me take grains and carbs out of my diet. We need to really balance what we should take out versus what we shouldn't take out, just so we're not causing undue stress on our bodies, leading to higher cortisol levels and always having that potential of missing out on key nutrients that our body needs, depending on what's being taken out. So, what could you do instead of eliminating an entire food group from your diet? Well, you can focus on balanced meals. So, making sure that your meals consist of, protein, fiber, healthy fats, making sure you're eating a variety of vegetables and fruits and, healthy fats throughout the week. And that way it can really support your overall health without causing unnecessary stress. And so if you're not used to eating balanced meals, or maybe it's been a while since you've prioritized a balanced meals, you can use plates and bowls that have different lines and measures on them to make sure that you're getting different food groups. What I use is I also use plates and bowls that have specific, sections on them, so I'm really aware visually of what my plate should look like to have a balanced meal. But I also use meal prep containers. So I might use that plate visual and then put it out on that plate and then transfer that into a meal prep containers and really prep for the rest of the week so that that's already done and I don't have to put more thought into the meal prep throughout the week. And so if you're interested in either plates, bowls, cups that have measurements on them that you can use to help create balanced meals, but then also meal prep containers, I'll put the links for both of those in the description below so that you can check them out. And the next weight loss trend we'll be talking about is green powders and supplements. Are they really worth it? Well, supplement companies often market green powders, supplements, replacement options for, whole foods, for fruits, for vegetables. And so while, they market it as being quick, convenient way to get a serving size of fruits or vegetables in, they're not a substitute for that whole food because they're not rich, nutrient dense foods. At the end of the day, it was lab created and it is a supplement. And so when it comes to green powders, when it comes to supplements, I think we really need to be careful of, what we're putting into our bodies and making sure we're taking time to research the company. Where is it coming from? How is it being made? What's really in this pill? What's really in this green powder or any powder? Even considering protein powder, because that's really marketed as also a quick way to get your protein in for the day. We really need to look at the back of the bottle, see what's in it, how many ingredients, to know, is this supplement, is this powder really going to help my long-term health goals? Because I think now, there's so many supplements out there, we get overwhelmed, or at least I get overwhelmed at, okay, there's 10 different supplements that I could take for this one thing. Which one's the best option? How do I know that this is really going to help me? And it's not just something that was made in a lab and now they've semi-tested it, slapped it into a bottle of packaging that looks great, and now I'm putting it into my body every morning. And so I think when it comes to, this kind of trend of, this green powder is really going to help you get your veggies in, when you have more, vegetables in your day for the serving sizes, it's better for your body and you're going to lose weight. I think we really just need to be careful of a lot of those red flags. And so some of the red flags and concerns to watch out for is when it claims to be, a miracle pill, a miracle powder. You're going to get all of these health benefits. You're going to get all this energy from this supplement, and really take time to look into it. Why is it claiming to be, a miracle health benefit? Is it really? Are all the chemicals and all the, things on the back of the thing, actually nutrients, or is it a chemical? Is it lab manufactured? Is it then synthetic? What's in it? Because I think, we can get into this trend of, I'm taking this pill every morning because it's healthy and it's going to get me to X, Y, and Z place. But then we take it for years, and then 3 years later, we're having all these different problems with our bodies, and we're wondering why. But why? It could be because we're consistently taking something that's harmful for us. And so we really need to pay attention to what's in the things that we're putting into our body, just like reading the back of the box for food to know what's in the food, what's in the supplements, what's in the powders that we're taking, and not buying into the trend of the supplements or the powders. Because I see different supplements trending all the time on TikTok, all the time on Instagram. And it's like, is this really good for me? And so we really need to take the time, research, look into it. Don't buy into the supplement or green powder juice just because it's on your timeline and just because you clicked on one of the options and now you're seeing 20 different options for green powder and it's convincing you that it's good for you because everyone else is doing it. It must be fine. But no, it might not be fine. It could have bad ingredients in it, could have bad sourcing in it, could be extremely manufactured and lab created, and they're going to slap an expensive price tag on it and have a great marketing campaign. So just watch out for green powders, supplements, especially when it comes to replacing whole foods. We got to question it. We got to see it. Is this actually good or is it not? And then make the best choice that we can for our health and, the future that we're trying to build for ourselves. So, what can you do instead of taking supplements or green powders? Well, you can prioritize real whole foods in your day-to-day. And so that's what I try to do. I am constantly thinking in my head, what is the better choice option? What is the best choice for me? And I always gravitate to whole foods. And I still eat hyper-processed foods. And for me, hyper-processed foods are things that have more than one ingredient in them. Or if you look at the back of the box of your food, you're going to see this entire list of 10, 20, 30 items. And a lot of the items I can't pronounce. I'll still buy them, but I'm constantly looking at the back of the box. Out of these two options, which one's better for my weight loss goals, for my nutrient goals, and, picking the one that's the best for me. So doing whole foods is better. If I choose supplements or, to take a supplement, I'm going to research it. I'm going to make sure that the product has done, a third-party test. There's tons of different, products out there. And so I just simply do a Google search of, for this product, has it been third-party tested? By who? I'll also take any recommendations that I'm thinking of taking for supplements to my healthcare professional. So every year, at least once a year, I'll have an annual check-in with my doctor. We don't really do much at that appointment. Just kind of talk for 10 minutes. How's it going? Or longer if I have a concern or something I want to try out that I want to bring to her or him. And what I'll do is I'll take pictures of any of the supplements I'm considering taking, and then I'll just ask, do you know anything about the supplement? Is it good? Do I need it? I also try to do a annual blood panel where I go in to the doctors and I will ask them, I'll schedule time, they'll draw my blood, and it'll just tell me, am I nutrient, deficient in any areas? And then that will kind of spark a conversation with my doctor of, okay, this isn't the greatest. Am I good? Okay, I'm good. Don't need to worry. Great. But if there was ever a time that one of the factors wasn't great, then I could go to them and say, hey, this on my blood work wasn't great. Should I be taking something to help support this or not? And depending on your health and how that conversation goes, that could help steer, what supplements you should be taking or maybe prioritizing that's specifically in line with your health, and having, a specific test done, that blood work test done to tell you that. And if that's an option you have, I would definitely, try to do that. And for me, that's just something that I try to do regularly every year. Get the blood work done, then have that meeting with the doctor. And, that's like my every, January, February time frame, starting the year out, just to make sure that I'm on a good page. And if anything were to be a red flag, we have a consistent history in the system to look back and say, what was my numbers last year compared to now? And so if you're thinking of supplements, green powders, really just taking a second to say, is this really worth it? And if it is worth it, which one, and putting in the research, putting the time behind that before you take a supplement for years and years and years, and then all of a sudden your body is starting to have problems because of the supplement, because it might not happen immediately. It could take time. And that is part 1 of weight loss trends to avoid. If you want to continue to dive into the different weight loss trends, what are some of the red flags and concerns that you should be on the lookout for, and things that you can do instead, then check out part 2. And as always, remember, it's your life, your actions, your results. You have the opportunity to make healthy habits a daily type of thing so that you can take your lifestyle to the next level day by day. And if you want tools for making healthier habits, I'll link all the tools that I talked about today and more in the video description below. And make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and tell me in the comments, what are some of the weight loss trends that you've tried in the past? What was your experience with it? Well, I've got life to live. I'll see you next time.